Okay, today we're going to tackle a subject that, let's be honest, can feel pretty overwhelming: personal finance. But what if I told you there's a whole suite of powerful, free tools out there that can bring some serious clarity to your financial world? Let's dive in and see how these resources can totally change the way you see your money.
You ever get that little knot in your stomach when you think about your financial blueprint? It's a super common feeling. You know you need a plan, but figuring out where to even start can feel like you're lost in a maze. If that sounds anything like you, well, you're in exactly the right place.
And that's precisely why we're digging into this collection of simple, free online calculators. Seriously, don't think of them as just number crunchers. Think of them more like your own personal financial compass, pointing you towards more confident decisions and, some much-needed peace of mind.
All right, first things first. Just like with any journey, you got to know your starting point, right? So that's what part one is all about. Getting a really clear, honest snapshot of where your finances are at right here, right now.
So for this financial checkup, our digital toolbox has some key instruments: a salary calculator, an income tax calculator, an EPF calculator, and even a simple cash calculator. These are basically the foundational tools for understanding your financial health.
What these tools do is cut right through all the noise. A salary calculator shows you what you actually take home. The income tax tool makes it clear what you owe, no matter the tax regime. It's all about empowering you with the real numbers.
Okay, so now that you have your bearings, it's time to start looking at the horizon. In part two, we're going to explore how you can turn those big dreams, like a new house or a car, into actual concrete plans.
But before we jump in, let's get one key term straight: EMI. It stands for Equated Monthly Installment. It's simply that fixed payment you make on a loan every month. Understanding EMI is absolutely crucial for any major purchase. Taking on a big loan can feel pretty intimidating, but you can really boil it down to a three-step process. First, you check your eligibility, see what you can even borrow. Second, you calculate your EMI so you know exactly what that monthly commitment looks like. And third, you plan for savings, because that can potentially bring down the total cost of the loan. And this is where the magic really happens, because there's a specific tool for every single one of those steps. You can figure out your home loan eligibility, calculate the EMI for pretty much any kind of loan, and even use a prepayment calculator to see how much money you could save by paying it off early. It's all about putting you in the driver's seat.
All right, now for the really exciting part. We've talked about managing your money, but what about making it grow? In part three, we're going to look at how you can put your money to work and make that shift from just saving to actually investing.
This slide right here, this is the secret sauce. This is the engine of growing wealth. With simple interest, you earn interest just on your original amount. But with compound interest, and this is the game changer, you earn interest on your interest. It creates this snowball effect that leads to exponential growth over time.
I mean, this chart says it all, right, doesn't it? In the first few years, the growth is steady, sure. But then, as time goes on, that curve just takes off. That is the incredible power of compounding. It rewards patience and consistency more than anything else.
So one of the most popular ways to get this compounding magic working for you is through something called a SIP, or a systematic investment plan. It's super simple. You just invest a fixed amount of money, regularly, into a mutual fund. It's a great way to build discipline and really put compounding to work.
And you guessed it, there are tools to help you plan all this out. So whether you're thinking about a SIP, or maybe a one-time lump sum investment, or even looking at things like fixed deposits and public provident funds, there's a calculator that can help you visualize that potential growth.
Okay, for our final part, let's zoom all the way out to the long-term horizon. Part 4 is all about securing your future and planning for those huge milestones, especially something like retirement.
Whoa. Okay, a number like this can feel, a little abstract, maybe even a bit scary. But for a lot of people, this is a target retirement fund, the kind of money you need to secure a good life for decades after you stop working.
So the obvious question is, how on earth do you even begin to build a future like that? How do you turn all these small, consistent things you do today into real, long-term financial security down the road?
Well, the answer lies in planning and using the right tools to do it. A retirement calculator lets you start with your goal and work backward to figure out what you need to be saving. And there are specific calculators for everything, from the national pension system to your gratuity, and even schemes designed to secure your child's future.
At the end of the day, these tools aren't really about being a math genius. Their real power is in the understanding, the clarity, and, most importantly, the control they give you over your own financial destiny.
Now, it is super important to remember this, and the source material is very clear about it. These tools are for educational purposes. They are a fantastic first step to help guide your thinking, but they are absolutely not a substitute for professional financial advice.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. You've now seen the digital toolbox. You know what instruments are out there to help you map out your financial journey. The only question left is, what's the first step you're going to take?